Hi everybody, welcome to week 5 of our Principles of Microeconomics video series. This week there's just going to be one video, next week we'll be back to 2. Up to now, we focused on how rational buyers and sellers will behave in the market. If you're shaky on those concepts, make sure you check out the videos at the link above. In this video, we're going to do a deeper dive into the buyer's problem. We're going to think about how buyers choose among different goods given a limited budget when they have to face market prices for those goods. Let's get into it. So last week we learned that equilibrium prices are determined by the interaction of suppliers and demanders, buyers and sellers. And the equilibrium price is the one at which quantity supplied equals quantity demanded. There's neither too many nor too few, excess supply, excess demand, surplus, or shortage. In this video, what we're going to consider is what those market prices mean for consumers. We're going to do a deep dive on the buyer's problem. How do they behave when they have to make decisions amongst multiple goods? And to do that, we need to know 3 things. First, the buyer's income. Second, the prices of the goods they're choosing amongst. And 3, their preferences, how much they like each of these goods. So we're going to look at this using an example. And in the example, a consumer has $10. That's their income or their budget. And they can spend it on beer or pizza. We're making a simplifying assumption to illustrate the model. The cost of a beer is $2, the cost of pizza is $1. That means that if you've got $10, you can buy 5 beers or 10 slices of pizza because a beer costs $2, so you can only afford 5 of them. A pizza slice costs $1, so you can afford 10 of them. You can see in the graph that I've marked in those points. You can join those points then together and notice that any combination of goods that kind of lies on that line is going to be an affordable bundle of goods. It's going to satisfy your budget constraint. For example, you could buy 3 beers and 4 slices of pizza. 3 beers cost $6 because they're $2 each. 4 slices of pizza is $4 for a total of $10. So next consider what would happen if there was a change in price. Suppose your budget is still $10, but now a pizza slice costs $2, not just $1. What is that going to do to your budget constraint? Well, now instead of being able to afford 10 slices of pizza, if you spend all your money on pizza, you can only afford 5 slices of pizza. You can still also afford 5 beers, and so you can see the effect that has on your budget constraint in the diagram. What if there's a change in income? Well, if your income increases to say $15, and suppose again the prices are back to the original $1 per slice and $2 per beer, now instead of being able to afford 10 slices of pizza, you can afford 15, and instead of 5 beers, you can afford 7.5 beers. What does that look like on the graph? Well, when we draw your budget constraint, it shifts out to the right. You've got more income, meaning that you can afford more of both beer and pizza. With that said, we still don't know which of these potential options you're going to choose. We know what bundles of the good, 10 slices of pizza, 5 beers, 4 slices of pizza and 3 beers. We know these different combinations of things that you can afford, and we know how those things change when prices change and how income affects those things too. But we don't know what you're going to choose. We don't know what you will buy, and we don't know how your choices change if prices and or income change. We need to know your preferences. So in the table on screen, you're going to see the total benefit that you get from each of these goods, beer and pizza. For the first slice of pizza, you get a total benefit of $4. 2 slices of pizza gives you a total benefit of $7.5. For the beers, the first beer gives you $10 of total benefit, and so on and so forth. So using total value analysis, what we can do is we can consider all of the potential combinations of beer and pizza that you can afford, and I've got them on screen now. You can have no beer and 10 slices of pizza, or 5 beers and no pizza, and all the different combinations in between. And what you can do is you can then look at the table of information about the total benefit from each of those things, and you can just add them up, right? If you have 10 slices of pizza, then you're going to have a total benefit of $16.60. And if you have just 5 beers, you're going to have a total benefit of $39.5, $39.50. Then we can fill in all the other values by looking at the total benefit of 2 slices of pizza and 4 beers, 4 slices of pizza and 3 beers, and so on and so forth. And then all we need to do is look at these various options and pick the best one. And you can see in the table, 2 slices of pizza plus 4 beers gives you a total benefit of $41.50, meaning that's the best option. You can also solve this problem using marginal analysis. In the table on screen now, I've got the marginal benefit associated with each unit of each good. For example, 2 slices of pizza gives you a total benefit of $7.50. 1 slice of pizza gives you a total benefit of $4. So the difference, or the marginal change in the benefits from having a second slice of pizza is just $3.50, as you can see in the table. For beers, you have 1 beer, $10 of benefit, 2 beers, $19 of benefit, for a marginal benefit of $9. So if you've got $10 to spend, how can using marginal analysis help you figure this out? Well, all you need to do is compare the first beer to the first 2 slices of pizza, because the beer costs $2, so you need to compare it to 2 slices of pizza. The first beer gives you $10 of total benefit. The first 2 slices of pizza give you a benefit of $7.50. So you choose the beer. So that's 1 beer. The next thing you do is you look at the benefit from the second beer, which is $9 of marginal benefit, and compare that to the first 2 slices of pizza, $7.50. So again, you choose the beer. The third beer gives you a marginal benefit of $8. And again, that's still better than 2 slices of pizza at $7.50 in terms of total benefit. So choose a beer. Again, that's 3 beers with your first 3 choices of how to spend $2. The fourth beer gives you a benefit of only $7 compared to the $7.50 that you would get from having the 2 slices of pizza. So now you choose 2 slices of pizza. The next $2, well, you're going to get $7 if you have that fourth beer. Remember, you've already chosen to get 3 beers and 2 slices of pizza. So you get the $7 of benefit if you go for a fourth beer, compared to if you get a third and fourth slice of pizza. Your benefit is just $3 for the third slice and $2 for the fourth slice, for a total of $5 of marginal benefit from that third and fourth slice of pizza. So the beer is the better option because you get $7 of benefit from that. So by stepping through the problem, looking at how you spend each $2, you chose a beer, then another beer, then another beer, then 2 slices of pizza, and then a fourth beer. The answer that you get using marginal analysis then says that if you have $10 to spend, you're going to get 4 beers and 2 slices of pizza. But that's exactly the same answer we got when we used total value analysis. So how does this relate to the buyer's problem? Well, we can now determine the buyer's demand. The situation at a price of $1 per slice, the buyer buys 2 slices of pizza. Their quantity demanded is 2. At a price of $2 per beer, they buy 4 beers. And so we have a point on the individual demand curve for beer and for pizza. Now, with prices changing or income changing, we could kind of map out more of those points. And that would be a bit of an exercise. We won't do that here. But as you can see, as long as you know the buyer's income, the prices that they face, and their preferences over the goods, you can always figure out how many units of the good they will buy at a particular price. So you can always begin to map out demand. Then ask yourself, well, what would happen if the beer costs $3 or the pizza costs $2 per slice? You should do those as exercises. Have a think about them. A little bonus here. There's an advanced shortcut that you can take to figure out the answers to these questions. In the table, I've added another column with the marginal benefit per dollar spent. So I take the marginal benefit and divide it by the cost of the product. For the pizza, that's easy because the price of the pizza is just $1. But for the beer, the marginal benefit gets divided by the price, $2. And the solution to these questions always occurs where the marginal benefit per dollar is the same and the consumer spends all of their budget. So as you can see, when the consumer has a marginal benefit per dollar of 4, that's at 1 slice of pizza, you can look across at the table for beer and see that the marginal benefit per dollar is also 4 for beer when there's 3 beers. But the problem is 3 beers cost $6 and a slice of pizza costs $1, so that's just $7. That isn't the solution because it doesn't spend the entire $10 budget. In contrast, when you look at the second slice of pizza, the marginal benefit per dollar is $3.50, and the marginal benefit per dollar of a fourth beer is also $3.50. Curiously, that's the solution we got earlier. 2 slices of pizza and 4 beers. And this is a fairly advanced shortcut that maybe will take some time to get used to, but the solution to these questions always works out this way. You look for an equilibrium where the marginal benefit of spending the money on either good is equal, because that's where you're going to find an equilibrium. If the marginal benefit was better for one good over the other, then you would choose the good where the marginal benefit was higher per dollar spent. So the only way you can have a solution is where they're equal. Okay, that's enough for this video. We've examined how buyers deal with limited budgets given that they want multiple goods whose prices are determined in market. Next up, we're going to use our knowledge to study how markets serve consumers. We're going to develop the concept of consumer surplus, the difference between what a buyer actually has to pay and what they'd be willing to pay, a measure of how much they're benefiting from participating in a market. Then we're going to think about elasticity. After that, we'll move to the supplier's problem in greater detail, and we'll think about production and choosing among different products that a consumer can produce. Last, if this video helped you, hit that like button, leave your questions in the comments, make sure you do the quiz at the link in the description, and hit subscribe if you want more of these videos in your YouTube feed. See you in the next one.